Hello, Zoom.
Oh,
I've got it.
hello, gorgeous blossoms. Leonie Dawson refuses to be categorized. The podcast. And today, for something a little bit different, the first time that I think we've done this in 130 something episodes. There's going to be a Q&A session, and it's not just me on the call. I'm joined today by my lovely and dear friend Tam Protasso Adams, who
Hi.
Hi.
Hello. Good morning. Hi.
Me and Tam have known each other for a long ass time now, and we call each other it's a long running joke that we refer to each other as a CPF, a close personal friend. But it's now at the point where Tam is like my CSPF, my closest personal friend, because we spend most of our days texting each other.
Messaging. I had a thought. You need to know my thought.
Please.
I had a thought. I had another thought.
Yeah, please tell me everything. I'm right here. That's exactly how it goes. Yeah. Yes. So my lovely assistant Zeta was going to be the question asker, but she's not feeling well. So Tam was like, man, fuck it, why not? So that's awesome. Oh, and Tam, spruik your business while you're on. Tell people what you do.
Yeah, hello. Hi. Yeah. I run a thing. It's
yeah,
awesome.
You do.
Yeah, I do. I'm a writing coach for purpose-driven people. So I help people write their books. I have a course that helps people write their books called Book Right Now. And I have a monthly membership that people can join. And that's called Book Right Now with me, where I write my book alongside everybody else. And we do writing calls and book discussion calls, and we have guest experts in to speak to us. And it's all a lot of fun and games. And also you get your book written. So
amazing.
That's what I do.
Have I been a guest expert on your membership yet?
You have not yet, but I could always ask you now. With all these people listening.
Did you?
So Leonie,
do you want to? Yeah.
Would you maybe one day talk to my group?
Of course, I fucking would. I was like, will she accept me as?
Oh, let me think about that. I don't know. Oh, yeah. I'll look all right, just as a favor.
Oh, I know, right? You got to help the little ones out, right? Give them a step up. It's good exposure for me, doll.
Would you just do it because you love me?
Yeah, no, I do it just for that as well. I also would do it just because it'd be like more time to chat together.
Hey, mate, should I ask you some questions?
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. No, you good thinking, because I was just going to go on tangents. So maybe we should.
No, well, I've got the questions in front of me.
Oh, so everyone on my mailing list, we emailed out and asked, like, what questions have you got for me? And we got a shit ton of questions, and so we'll be answering them on this call and then future calls, if you like that kind of shit. And if you've got a question that you'd like me to answer on an upcoming episode, email support@leoniedawson.com.
Excellent. And the lovely Lydia will take care of you.
Lydia.
That's right. We love Lydia. All right. So questions for the Q&A podcast. Let's go first of all with Laurie. Laurie asks you, how do you plan out your week?
Oh, firstly, I'd like to say, like, the way that you're asking questions is actually very professional, and I'm like quite enamored. Like, it's like this like radio voice comes on, and I'm really into it. So good on you, doll. Okay, how do I plan out my week? The answer is I don't really. Well, sort of I do, but in an unstructured way. So at the beginning of every week, usually on a Sunday, I take out my journal. I probably have it next to me somewhere, but this is a podcast, not a visual extravaganza. And I kind of do a loose bullet journal without calling myself a bullet journaler. So I draw out what I've got on that week, and then I color in like the highlighted blocks. So I'll put in appointments, and I usually have 1 or 2 calls a week, and mostly they're about this time slot, which is about 1 p.m. in the afternoon. There's occasional 6:30 a.m. ones, and so they're booked in, and then any of like kids appointments and stuff I need to do during the week, I've got that in there as well. And then I have a really large to-do list for the week that I write at the start of every week, and one is for business and the other page is for life. And then I also have like a habit tracker section as well with all the different habits, and they're going to be a mix of life, parenting, health, and creativity and business, all that kind of stuff. And then, so I write out my list of everything that I want to achieve that week, and then I highlight the most important ones that need to be done. And then I just try and get as much done as humanly possible on that list. I know myself now, so if I have a really small to-do list, I am not as motivated. I need to have a very, very large list. And it doesn't matter if I don't tick everything off, but I need to have like a lot to push for. Otherwise, I'd get very demotivated. And then to keep the accountability going, like if I'm feeling myself really lackluster, I usually use Tam or Zeta as an accountability partner. And I'll be like, hey guys, does anyone need to get anything done? Here's my to-do list. I'll check in when the first thing's done. So that's how I plan my week.
Can confirm this happens.
Yes.
Can confirm. What happens just as an auxiliary to that? Because, I am going to ask a little extra questions. Just an auxiliary to that. What happens? You said that like you have a massive to long to-do list, but you don't get some of it done. Does that like roll over into the next week?
Yeah. So in bullet journal like world, I think they even have like a little mark that you can do for it that shows that you've like moved it onto another list. And so at the end of every single week, I go back through last week's list, and then I draw a little arrow in it to show that I've moved it.
Ooh,
I know.
super fancy.
I know. And you've also said auxiliary question, which was real posh. Like, somebody a writer or something?
Yeah, word nerds unite. Word nerds unite.
Sexy.
Okay. All right. So good. That's planning your week. Maya asks, do you really only work 10 hours a week? Does this include your arty work, or do you not consider this work? What do you consider work? How about learning and developing your business? Would love to know. Smiley face.
Oh, sweetheart. Added a smiley face.
No.
Yeah.
So cute.
So what do I include and what do I not include?
And do you really only work 10 hours per week?
Yeah, I really only work 10 hours a week because I don't really have that much time outside of that. So here's how, like, because I've got like a certain structure to my days. So I, in the mornings, up at 6:30, get the kids ready to take to school, leave at 7:30. It's a half-hour drive. Then me and my husband go and have breakfast together, usually at a cafe, or we go for a walk, or we go run errands. So I'm usually home about 10:30 or so. And then we usually do some some household jobs, like do all the gardening, like a shit job of gardening, but still we attempt to do some gardening just so it doesn't look like an abandoned lot. A bit of a clean or put a load of washing on or whatever, have a talk, have adult time. Wink, wink, wink. And then by about 12 o'clock, I'm like, right, I should get some work done. And then I have maybe 2 hours before I have to go pick the kids up from school, and then I'm with them. And then we go to bed really early. So it's kind of how it goes. And I don't work on weekends. Now, in terms of where there may be some spillover, I still do creativity. That's my personal practice, and that isn't included in my business. So, for example, on the weekends, I am always art journaling and collaging or painting with my kids. That I don't count that as business time. It usually doesn't get shared on the blog or anything like that. Sometimes I share my art journal, but it's not for work purposes. And in terms of education, I would say 90% of like the business education I do is in work hours. Like I devote that time to it. because the rest of the time I'm just reading trash books. I read a lot of books. That's why I was like, I do read some books at night, but they're usually not business related, unless it's about a a businessman, if you know what I mean.
I do know your taste in books quite well.
Yes, yeah, disgusting.
Mm,
So great.
so good. Okay, cool. So Misty asks, if you had to build your community and biz from scratch in today's current climate, how would you approach it? What would your first step or top 3 tips be?
Yeah. So the first step I would take is, I think everyone goes, well, you got to have a social media account. Before you do any of that shit, you need to have a think about who is going to buy your shit and where they already are, how they're making their business, like those purchasing decisions. Because I keep saying this again and again and again, like social media is just one of thousands and thousands of different marketing options that you have. It is all of them are completely optional. And social media is not necessarily the thing that's actually going to make the most amount of difference in your business. It's like, I know that everyone thinks that's the case, but social media is absolutely, like, in terms of it needing to be a business essential, like, I think it's such a scam, because there are so many ways to build a business that can work so much faster and take much less time than social media marketing. So for me, if I was going, oh, okay, where are my people hanging out? Because I'm usually teaching kind of entrepreneurs and kind of hippie entrepreneurs, I would be immediately looking at podcasts that they're on. I'd be looking at wherever they're having kind of webinar or teleseminar events, like with guest experts and stuff like that. And I would also consider doing a joint venture with a person who's already got an established audience, or developing affiliate relationships with those people. So I think that's probably where I'd go. Like, just off the top of my hat, I'd go, where are all these people that I want to get in front of? How can I, the quickest way to get in front of them and appear as an expert? That's probably what I'd do.
Nice answer.
Oh, ta.
Nice answer, love. Yeah. I was just having thoughts, because so often people are like, yeah, but my social media following is like 10,000, and I've heard you say over and over again, yeah, but what size is your list? Like, compared to
I know
that.
so many people who have very large social media followings and they do not have businesses. They're not making any money. I know people who have 2 million people on, like, following their Facebook page, and they haven't made money out of it. Like, they can't make money out of it because they're actually not the right target market. Just because you've got social media numbers, it doesn't mean they're going to buy from you. And always remember that people on your mailing list are going to be 40 times more likely to buy from you than social media. And it's something that you own for the rest of your life. It can't be taken away from you, like, anytime the social media algorithm changes or you get locked out of your account, which happens all the time.
Sure does. Yep. All right. So now I have Celise. How do you work 10 hours a week without social media? Is this for businesses that are already established? I feel like for someone starting out new like I am, I would have to use social media right now to find clients. Nice segue into this question.
Yeah. So,
so how do you work 10 hours a week without social media?
well, when I was on social media, I only worked 10 hours a week anyway.
Yep.
Nothing's changed, guys. And I didn't.
Again, can confirm.
Thank you. See, Tam's known me for long enough at work, to my business is like on and off long enough to go, like, this is accurate. Here's the thing, like, I've never had the luxury of working full-time hours in my business. When I started my business back in 2004, then I was working full-time for the Australian government. I didn't leave there until I was, I gave birth to my oldest daughter, and then I had a baby, and, like, babies take a lot of time, guys.
Surprise. Oh.
especially the ones that don't sleep. And I know that you know what that's like.
Ooh, yep.
Yep.
Moment of cringe and silence for all the people who have babies who don't sleep right now. Yep.
Oh, we are
Saluting.
saluting you. I promise it gets better, but fuck, it's bullshit in the meantime. Fuck, it is bullshit. So yeah, I've never really had the luxury. I've always had to make money in very short periods of time. And I actually think it's a real asset. I think my business has grown faster because of that compressed time, because when I do turn up to work, I'm like, fuck, right, what do I need to do right now in order to like grow the business? Because I don't have much time. Like, I can't do all the unimportant bullshit. I can only do the important bullshit. I should mention as well, like for people who really want to like reduce their work hours and earn more, then I have a program for that. It's just come out. It's called Work Less, Earn More. I can't remember the URL. I think it's leoniedawson.com/more, or maybe earn. I don't know. Go to my website.
If you hold on a moment, I'll actually find that for you. If my internet's quick enough, that is.
It's a website.
La, la, la.
It's not.
It is a website.
It's not a
you
website.
go to leoniedawson.com/shop and all the things will be there.
Hey, that's
good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of
it is /more, leoniedawson.com/more, which
nice.
is Work Less, Earn More. There you go.
Nice. Thanks, Tambo. You're the best. Nice. Now, in terms of how I can only work 10 hours a week, and if people are just starting out, yeah, you can still start out with very limited time. That's what I never got to like go full time in this. But you need to be strategic. And even if you use social media, you need to be strategic. Where are your people hanging out? How can you find them? You know, I was talking to a friend of mine, just a school mum, and she had just started a new hairdressing salon, gone out on her own to start. And I was like, how's things? And she's like, really slow. Like, I need to find people. And I was like, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm doing more social media posts. And I'm like, how's that going for you? No, it's really slow. I'm like, right, okay, so that's not working. So what you need to do is like where you are currently, like she was in an industrial estate. I was like, why don't you print some flyers and on the flyers say, hey, hi, new business neighbor, I'm just around the corner doing haircuts, blah, blah, blah. If you want to come and grab, get your hair done in your lunch hours or morning tea or whenever you've got a break from work, I'm just here. And as a business neighbor, I'd love to give you $20 off for your first appointment. And just hand deliver it to like all of the businesses around town, like in your area. And she did it. Bless her. She actually did the fucking thing, which is always a surprise to me because people always want to know how to do things and then don't actually do the fucking thing. But she did the fucking thing. I said, how's things going? And she said, fully booked. Within a week, fully booked. So
amazing.
You have to think about, where are my people? What is the best way to communicate with them? And I promise you, social media is often like number 100 on that list. It's not the fastest, easiest, most efficient way to get a hold of people. I was talking to another business owner and she owned a yoga studio, and she said one of the biggest things that she did, instead of focusing on social media, was she would offer for university students, if they just came in like 30 minutes earlier or whatever, and then went out with pieces of chalk on the sidewalk and drew arrows to going, yoga this way starts at 12 o'clock or whatever, they'd get the class for free. And she said she would just get so many people just following the arrows.
Amazing.
So brilliant, right? And yet we're like, oh, we'll just do more social media posts. Is it working for you? Are you actually getting clients out of that? Because otherwise, no, just it can go fuck itself.
Yeah, right. So if you are doing social media, you need those analytics. You need to know what numbers you're starting with. You need to know what you're doing, and just kind of get in and out. Basically, that's what she
you
said.
need to be strategic as fuck and really look at what works and what doesn't. Here's the thing: like, I have hired so many people just from like letterbox drops. Because I'm like, oh, okay. Like I'm never like, if I'm looking for somebody to do some like aqua blasting around my house or whatever, I'm not going to like search them on social media. I'm going to Google it. So search engine optimization is really important. Or if you've dropped a fucking flyer, it's probably on my fridge, so it works. Old school marketing works, and it can work a lot fucking better than social media marketing.
Yay. All right, cool. Now we have Brittany, who has, did you slowly decrease posting on social media or completely stop cold turkey?
Oh, so in my my course, Marketing Without Social Media, I go into a lot of detail about this. Actually, by the way, it does start 1st of March. We're just about to do a live round. So if you go to leoniedawson.com/marketing, you'll find out all about that. That is my intensive program on how I quit social media, how you can do the same or reduce your time on it and market in much more powerful ways to grow your business. So having said that, I can't even remember what the question is.
Did you slowly decrease posting or did you stop cold turkey?
Good work.
There you go.
For me personally, I thought I'd do it as an experiment first. So I thought I'd do it 21 days and see how I felt. And I was panicking. I panicked a fucking lot to do that. And then as soon as I did it, I was like, I am so in love. I never want to go back. And then I thought, okay, well, with my business, why don't we just take 3 months off, and just go, we're just pausing social media for now. And this is why. And, we don't have to delete all our other accounts. We said we're currently off social media. This is the best way to contact us. That was our final post on social media. And that way, if we really needed to, we could go back in and reactivate and just start posting again. But we don't need to because it's now been a year and it's been amazing. So for me, we went cold turkey because we felt like we could. I looked at the statistics and we were spending about 80% of our marketing time with doing social media content. And for us, we were getting about 20% of our sales from social media. And so that's a really poor outcome to spend 80% of your time doing something and getting only 20% of your sales. There was a whole bunch of other things that we were doing that were creating much bigger gains for us that took fuck all time. So for example, when I do a launch, I have affiliates who are people who've taken a program, love the program, want to share about the program. They get paid every time they referred somebody automatically. So they bring in about 20% of our sales anyway. And that takes maybe 30 minutes a month to do that program. It's all automatic. So that's way better than spending 80% of our time on something that we kind of hated.
Hells yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I went cold turkey because I knew that 20% was fuck all. But as I teach in my program, 1, you need to know the statistics. 2, you need to work out what percent of traffic you're comfortable at killing off. Or if you just want to spend some time weaning off it by building on your other marketing methods so that your business doesn't, suffer while you build up your other marketing methods. So you can do both. I teach both.
Awesome. All right. Don't know if you can hear that. I've got very noisy birds.
They're really cute.
They're having
budgies, parrots?
Yeah, there's some kind of parrot and they're having a massive argument in a fruit tree just outside my window. So you're welcome. You're welcome. I bring you arguing birds.
I love
You're
that.
very welcome.
Do they get drunk off the fruit at all?
Yeah, if they eat the fallen fruit that's fermenting, they do. Then they kind of fly wonky and shout lots. So maybe they're drunk lorikeets out there. Oh my God. Anyway, cameo by drunk birds. Awesome.
Love it.
Sarah. Oh no, hold on. I've jumped the gun. We're at Nora now. Nora asks, how do you deal with negative feedback and critics in the work field?
Oh, fuck them.
I could have bet on that response.
Yeah.
Damn.
Look, there's very, very, very few bits of criticism that I get that are actually anything to do with me or anything that I can fix. Like there's a lot of the most common feedback I get is, well, not feedback, criticism is, you swear, you swear, you swear. You talked about something really inappropriate. You shouldn't talk about politics. Oh, remember that person that told me, I'd pay you to teach me about business, not to open your mouth about politics because I didn't like Trump.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember. I
yeah. And
remember.
I was like, just
Uh-huh.
because you pay me money to learn something about business that actually doesn't like mean shit doesn't mean shit. Actually, you actually don't get to choose what I say, because if I feel like something's very important for me to take a stand against something, like if I have to make a stand for democracy, if I need to make a stand against discrimination or homophobia or racism or any of the other bullshit that's been going on, about, if I need to make a stand against conspiracy theories, all that kind of stuff, I fucking am, because I am a public figure and I have an audience, and I believe I have a responsibility to speak out against things that are not helpful and support things that are helpful. So I get that that's not everybody else's prerogative, and that's fine. I'm just doing things for me. So most of the feedback I get is like just bullshit. It's just like, well, I'm just the wrong teacher for you. So there are plenty of other people out there who don't swear or are very careful not to say anything political because they don't want to miss out on any fucking money whatsoever. And you're most welcome to go learn from them, because there is like plenty of like basic bitches out there, like bless them, but like real vanilla stuff, those people can be for you. I am never going to change this miraculous, you know, autistic, lefty, social, like, left-leaning socialist kind of person. I'm not. It's not going to happen. Like, fuck off, do something else. Now, there is like, sometimes I do get feedback where it's like, oh, I see where I have made a mistake here. Like, I have made mistakes in, like, when I have said things that were problematic, in terms of what I thought was the right thing to say, and it wasn't, in terms of any racism work and stuff like that. And I'm grateful for that. Like, I'm like so thankful, and I'll take that feedback on. Even like if we get some feedback like, oh, I didn't feel like this part of this course was actionable enough, or I didn't know how to apply it in this situation, then I can go back in and add shit into that. But that is like less than 1% of, the actual, criticisms we get. So 99.9% of the time it's fuck
Yeah. Yay. Awesome. Okay, so Sarah had a 3-part question, but I think you've answered the first 2. So the first 2 bits were, how do you spend your 10 hours a week working? So
Yep.
tick, done that one. What steps would you tell a new online business owner to take to start and grow their business? So, that's kind of like your top 3 tips, where your people are hanging out, all of that stuff that we covered a bit earlier. Third bit though, third part of the question is, what tasks do you delegate to your assistants? Which we have not covered.
We have not covered. And I should cover a little bit more in what I actually do at work each week, I guess, as well.
Go. We would love to hear what you do in your office.
In bed.
Yeah.
So if it's 10 hours a week, I think it's usually about 1 to 2 hours of interviews or calls. The vast majority of time is spent in content creation. So that's either free content like blog posts, podcasts, or like an opt-in lead magnet, whatever, or paid content, as in I'm creating a new course. And that depends on whether I'm in course creation mode or no, I'm just in maintenance mode. So I'm just creating free content, basically. And then, of course, there's a little bit of admin outside of that, like, this week I have to meet with my accountants to talk about some shit, and have to sign off forms and pay some bills, but I try and reduce that as much as possible. So there's plenty of things that I could be doing, but I don't, because I don't have enough time and I don't have the interest. So fuck it. And I do also try and make sure that, at least 1 hour of my 10 hours a week is spent in education. So I'm taking a new course or reading a book and highlighting and taking actionable notes. So that's about how my 10 hours gets spread out. My team doesn't really take much managing, which is great. Like I've got 2 part-time assistants. Together they work about 20, 25 hours a week together. And one does emails, like customer service support, and Zeta, who's my online business manager, does kind of everything else. But even then, I'm not just like going, oh, this could be done, or this needs to be done, so I'm going to assign it all to my, one of my assistants. I'm only doing like, is this mission critical? Because otherwise it needs to go fuck itself, right? Like I have previously had a lot of staff, like I had 20, 25 staff. Tam worked for me at that point. She knows what a shit show that was.
There. Yeah, that was busy.
It was busy.
Very busy.
It was hectic. It was hectic because the more people you have, the more management you have to do, and the more communication, and it just sucks. It really sucks. There's less work that happens, less work, much less work.
Yep.
So yeah, my people, they just don't really need much from me. They're like low maintenance, which is exactly the way I like it. They'll text me. We very rarely have like team calls, very rarely. I think we've had maybe 1 group call, maybe 2. I don't know. And then Zeta and me, maybe like every 6 months we'll have a call, but everything else is just like, text me if you need something, otherwise work it out yourself.
Yeah. So what sort of stuff does Zeta take care of for you?
Just so that
people know what kind of tasks are going on by somebody else.
I give like her.
I know you've got Lydia for customer service emails. That's one thing sectioned off there.
Yeah. I think I go through a comprehensive list of it in Work Less, Earn More. So I'm just trying to like remember that.
Oh yeah, right.
So, okay. So she does all the back end of, so like if we've got a new live launch, so we've got live round of marketing without social media coming out at the moment. So what she'll do is she'll find all of the sales emails, all of the blog posts that I've already written about this, and see if they need to be freshened up and, reuse them again for a sales process. She will come up with ideas of more things that I could write about, create content about. Sometimes, rarely, she writes a blog post for me or contributes to a blog post. So I've got a new blog post coming out about quitting social media for a year and what it's like emotionally, and with my business and stuff, how much money I made, all that kind of stuff. And so I got her to write a few paragraphs on what it was like from her perspective to go through that process. She also will set up all of like the tech stuff behind the scenes. So the live round will start on this day. She'll have emails like organized to go out after that. She's keeping the statistics of how many people are coming through. So she's like tinkering on the Kajabi back end of stuff. What else does she do? Honestly, there's more and I just can't remember it. It's just stuff, just the important stuff. And then, but I do say to her, if you ever get busy and you actually can't complete any of these tasks, can you let me know and I'll go through and kill off your task list. So she's always making sure that like emails are going out and, she's collating whatever. And so I'll write a blog post and then she'll send it all out as an email and format it and stuff like that. So things that she's like a production assistant in a way, in that like, even for this call, she was the one who wrote the email saying, when I ask Leonie a question, blah, 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 going to be doing podcast episodes. And then she collated it all into, different topics and stuff like that. And then she was like, cool, produce it. And now she'll do like the transcription for it, all that kind of stuff. So she's doing like production assistant stuff.
Awesome. Awesome. And, she's awesome at what she does. Oh my
She
God.
is. But and like
Love that.
my life is very incestuous. So Tam and Zeta already know each other. I've never met Zeta in person, but she's worked for me for years. But Tam and Zeta have already met each other, and they're
we have,
good friends.
we have Zeta VA'd for me for a little while before
Oh, that's
I
right.
introduced her to you. So
That's
there you
oh
go.
my God,
You're
that's
welcome.
right. I stole her from you. Sorry.
You're welcome. It's fine.
But now your assistant is Zeta's best friend, right?
I know, right?
We have such an incestuous life, and that's how we like it.
It is. It is. I'm extremely happy with this state of affairs. You have Zeta. I have my VA who lives with Zeta. It's all great. It's all great. It's so good. All right. So
Just
a couple of questions.
Best friends hiring best friends. You know what I
I
mean?
know, right?
Yeah.
So good. So good. All right. Focus. Jasmine says, I've literally just left my job to start as a biz owner. What's your number one tip? What's your advice for someone who loves creating and is scared of marketing? So that's really two questions, but
Sure. So first and foremost, as a business owner, and I want to say this with as much love as I can, is that your job is, yes, you're going to be creating, and that's amazing. However, for you to build a business, to take it to the world, and for you to earn abundance, you actually are going to have to get good at marketing. And you have to have a mindset shift and realize that in order for you to get good at marketing, what you need to do is get really good at communicating very clearly with the people who need you, who you are, how you can help them, how you can serve them, and build up that trust with them so they can say yes to working with you. So it's really about having a lot of clarity and empathy and good communication with the people that you're meant to help. That's what marketing really is. And nobody in this world gets to just create and not do anything, and not actually have to think about marketing. I get it. Like, marketing can be, it feels sometimes kind of threatening or overwhelming or just too big to consider. And you need to become friends with that in order to grow an abundant business that will help you and it will help your target market as well. So I think that having that mindset shift and learning how to grow those marketing muscles is really, really critical. And the thing I always say to people as well is, if you want to earn more money in your business, you need to take my Sales Star program so that I can take you through like how to get through those mindset shifts when it comes to marketing, and then actually how to market the absolute fuck out of it in a really clear and beautiful and thoughtful way. So people, of course, will say yes to what you're offering.
Yeah, absolutely. Just that thing in your Sales Star program, sorry, because I have it and it's great.
Thanks, babe.
And it's just this example you use all the time. You're like, marketing is like if you've made great brownies and then you hide in your kitchen, just kind of going, got some brownies over here, whereas you actually have to kind of go and tell people that you've made brownies for them and how delicious they're going to be and would they like some. Like, you actually have to offer the brownie,
instead of just like binge eating in the kitchen all your brownies by yourself and be like, why doesn't anyone want what I've got to offer?
Yeah, exactly. I quite often tell my brother that, because he's got his own business and all that stuff, and he's like, oh, I don't know like marketing, and I'm like, dude, tell people you've got brownies. He's like, yeah, right, brownies, sorry, yes.
Oh, on you, Vlad. We're rooting for you, mate.
Very cute, very cute indeed.
So cute. Did I answer the first part of the question or only the second?
So I've literally left my job to start life as a biz owner. What's your number one tip?
Oh, yeah, number one tip is fucking get good at marketing. That's what will make or break you.
Yep. Excellent. All right. So Sunshine asks, do you think you'd be where you are in your business if you hadn't created the following you did on social media? And do you think people can use your marketing without social media course and create the kind of results that could sustain a 1 million plus per year business if they've never done social media or not done it to the level you have?
Yeah. Okay. So like, I'm always surprised, like but you know, it's understandable for people to feel this way, because people feel like social media has built my business. And I have been around since before social media was invented.
I remember because I was around before then too. I don't think that the social media was around when you were doing the initial Goddess Circle business.
It might have been, well, that was 2010. So I think things had, were launched by that pump, but it wasn't.
It wasn't a way to build a business. It was just people like answering Facebook's ridiculous question of, how are you feeling? And so you'd be like,
thinking of?
Tamara is blah, 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 like all those posts that come up now, however dozen years later going, and you just look at it and go, oh.
So embarrassing. Yeah.
Look, I answered the question that this website asked me.
We did. It has not aged well. It did not mature like a fine wine.
It did not. I saw one of mine come up today because I'm still on social media, but I was like, that memory's not getting shared because I am so far from that person. I'm not that person anymore, but oh my God, how embarrassing.
Oh my God. Look, so yeah, here's the thing. Like I think pretty much like a 6-figure business without social media being invented, basically. And then social media was only ever part of my like marketing plan throughout the years, parts that I actually like, there's been so many other things that I've been doing to grow my business, so many other things. And would I have had a $1 million business without social media? Fuck yeah. Like going viral on social media is not how I grew my business. It's absolutely not. I've been growing my business through creating content, mostly blogging. Like I've been a blogger since 2004. Even before that, I have people that I met on message boards in 2001, 2002, and they were the first people who bought things from me online. They were the ones who started my business, and they are still my clients now. Like I still have so many people who've bought all my courses since then, just from those relationships that I've built. It's about building relationships. It's not about fucking social media. It's about creating content and sharing it with the world in a variety of ways. I would say that the vast majority of people who are in my audience didn't find me via social media. I've got the statistics to prove that. It's like 20% of you, maybe. But the vast majority have found me because of blogging, because of word of mouth, because people are like, have you heard of this fucking Leonie Dawson? Because of search engine optimization, like people have like Googled certain things and they found my website. And then like creating free stuff to give away, people share about that. Affiliates, because my affiliates, like they love something I've created, they share about it with their audience. Like amazing. People find out about me from podcasts because they get me on and they hear this magical voice and they're like, fuck yeah. Those are the ways that relationships have been built. That's why it was kind of easy for me to go fuck social media, because it's just such a poor way for me to develop relationships with people.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking that the people who ask this question probably found you on social media. Maybe they're part of that small percentage.
Yeah, of course.
And so they're, and it's hard, I guess, when you're on social media, like it's such a time suck. And so if you're on there all the time, you're just going to be kind of going, but what if you're not on here? Like it's just what you see, I guess.
For sure. So I've got 12 minutes before another call.
I have one last question. We're up to
Oh
our
my
last
God.
question.
Are we on so, we're so good at this. We're on
Look at
flow.
this. Yeah. So I'll ask you this one and then you can go. So last question is from Rachel. What are your best tips for building a community of raving fans?
Oh, treat them like friends, honestly. Treat them like you know them in real life. And that doesn't mean that you'll let them like walk all over you or abuse you, because I actually don't let my friends abuse me in real life.
No, I was going to say that doesn't sound like friends.
Yeah, it's not a friendship equation. Like, friends are respectful and kind and thoughtful and generous with each other. And it's like a two-sided equation, you know? So when I sit down to write a blog or an email, like, I'm like, "Ooh, get to write to my pen pals." You know, if that's what it feels like, because I've been writing to people now for it's nearly 20 years since I started on message boards and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's still people from those days, you know, and my accountant says, Leonie, usually like with customer relationship, so like the life cycle of a customer, we count in months. But for your business, it's much more like years or even decades. So people are usually like, Leonie, like, I have been following you since before you had your first kid, which is over 12 years ago. Or when you released the first goals workbook, which was 2010. Or I remember like when you did this, and it's a fuck ton of time ago. And so I love that people are getting so much value out of being in my circle that they just stick around. I like to give a lot of free stuff away. I definitely like to sell, like I sell, but when I sell, I make sure I over deliver. So what people get is amazing value and hugely helpful for them. So it feels like a really beautiful relationship, and one that just I continue just to foster and tend to, and I get a huge amount of joy out of it.
Yay.
Oh, and
That's lovely.
Tam, do you mind if I tell them how we met?
No, I do not mind at all.
Awesome. So I met Tam because I treat my audience like friends. And I met Tam because Tam read my blog, and she would email occasionally and say, oh, hey, I'm visiting your area. Like, I would love to meet you. And did you want to go out? Like, if you've got any events on, or if you want to go out for lunch or whatever. And she always super respectful and generous and lovely about it. And then one year the stars aligned and I was like, fuck yeah, like this person's going to be here from all that way. So I organized a meetup of like people who read my work, and it was just such a lovely lunch. And then Tam came up and sat across me, and I just thought, oh, cool. All right, we're friends. And Tam's like, great. I've been waiting for you to recognize that situation. And I passed my 3-month-old baby to Tam, and Tam rocked it to sleep, baby Bethany. And we've
Little
been
Beth.
great mates ever since. And then like I hired her to do some stuff for my business, and she actually edited the goals workbooks for ages. And we've been in like work together in a few different business areas of business now, and we never really we've never argued. We've just always just very shared values and perspectives, I think. So it's just continued to grow and bloom.
Yes. I always loved getting the responses in the very beginning from someone I now know was your fictional VA to start with, and going, oh no, I'm so sorry, Leonie's awfully busy. And I was like, okay, cool, that's fine. I just thought I'd be brave and ask.
Yeah, you did, and you were brave, and it paid off. Your persistence paid off.
Right, so that's the end of the questions for today.
Oh,
That's the end of the
Tabra.
questions for today. I've got to another heading that says for later episodes. So
Oh,
I better stop asking questions.
Zeta's so good at organizing shit.
I
So good at
know.
organizing.
Amazing.
And that's the thing I reckon about having a business where I share myself with the world, like without pretending.
Yeah.
So that when I meet people, like I think it's such a great way to make friends with people, honestly, because if somebody like has read my blog, I'm like, I know who you are and I know what you're down with. So this is great. You're my kind of person.
Yep, 100%. Can absolutely.
I
So
have
good.
even like when I've thought about like moving or whatever, I actually do look up how many customers live in that area because I figure, yeah, I'll be able to make friends there.
Oh, that's such good demographic info to have.
I know.
Like,
People who thinks Leonie's a Bonza chick. Yeah, I'm in. I've got an in.
oh, I love that.
Yeah. If I'm ever
I
lonely, I'll just like host a reader get together or whatever. I'm not lonely at the moment. Like I probably don't need any more friendship positions filled. I'm pretty busy,
friendship
but
position, no openings right
not,
now.
not at
Oh,
the
okay.
moment. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But it could, it could. I'm open to it. It's just
Whew.
no
Yeah.
big need. Tam's filling up most of my messages. As is out.
Sorry, everyone.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's fine. It's exactly how it needs to be. We call each other that we say like that we've got each other in our pockets, so we'll like send each other voicemails of like, and then this happened. Oh my god.
I just had to tell you this one thing.
Yeah, I know.
It's not urgent. It's not urgent. You can stop
Yeah.
listening now if you've got things to do. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's not urgent.
And the number of times like I've like called you sobbing on voicemail, like,
Oh,
and then this happened. I'll be okay, but oh my god. So yeah,
oh, Maisie.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I know.
Oh.
Life continues apace, does it
Oh,
not?
life. I hope people have someone to do life with like this.
Yes,
I hope
I know.
everybody has someone.
What a relief. And I've gone through periods where I didn't have somebody,
Oh,
to,
yeah. Likewise, it was shit.
yeah, I know. Like, what did we do? What did we
I
do?
don't know.
How are we supposed to
Oh,
manage this
tried to
situation?
cope.
Yeah,
Trying to cope by ourselves.
I know. I mean, we're both like happily married and stuff, but
Oh, yeah, totally.
you need somebody else just to get you through.
I think that happens as you get older as well. You're like, yeah, this needs more support.
Yeah, a bit of a life partner, just platonic life partner in your pocket who can just go, yeah, mate, that's, yep.
Yes.
Oh, I feel ya. I'm here for you. Oh, that's shit.
Oh, you'll be right. You'll get through.
Yeah,
You'll be okay.
we'll do this. Oh, did you check your mail recently?
Yeah, no notifications. I've been bothering my
Okay,
post.
that's
my
all right.
post
I'm
lady.
excited. I just sent some stuff to Tam in the mail, and now one of my love languages is gifts, and so I really like giving gifts. I'm like, don't care whether I get any, but like giving them. So like that's how I get my joy. It's like, did you get anything in the mail? Yeah, Tam.
And I'm like down because I have a general store instead of a post office because I'm sort of an hour out of a major city, and so I'm down there going, is there anything for me? And they're like, oh, there's this envelope. I'm like, nah, it's Bill, that one. Like, are you waiting for something? I'm like, apparently,
Yeah, it's coming.
All
right. Thank
now,
you, my
I
love.
know you have a call.
Oh yeah, I do have to talk about something else. But thank you so much for joining me on this call, Tambo. I should remember this is a podcast, so we do need to finish at some point. Thanks everyone for listening, and I hope this has been useful. If you've got questions, email support@leoniedawson.com. Marketing Without Social Media starts on March 1, or if you need any of my other courses, including Work Less, Earn More, or Sales Star, go to leoniedawson.com/shop. Fucking nailed it. Da, 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 da.